Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again to do another vlog. Yeah, it's been a while since I've said that. I have been spending a lot of my time doing the Guitar Souls podcast, which is my main place where I can go and rage, and if you haven't checked the podcast out, I would recommend you do so. But it is always fun to do one of these more personal one-on-one type vlog things. I can get a bit more animated, wave my hands around, point at the camera, and just be generally angry. So, a year or so ago, I uploaded a video addressing a very popular article that was doing the rounds from the Washington Post. It was written by Jeff Edgars, and it was the now infamous Death of the Electric Guitar article. This did the rounds on Facebook. It was widely lambasted by everybody that read it because we looked at it objectively and could see the huge errors that Edgar had made. The main one being that his sample size, the people that he had actually spoken to, was extremely limited. It was George Gruen, and then as part of that, places like Gibson, using those places as a case study. Well, today I can bring you updates on this kind of story and show you that it was bunk. Ibis World, great marketing firm, they have done a full market research report on acoustic and electric guitar manufacturing. And this is focused on the US, but it does encompass 164 businesses. So it's a much larger sample size than the one that Edgar's limited himself to. So what we can tell you over 164 businesses in the last 5 years, 2012 to 2017, is that the industry has seen consistent growth. It's grown by 1.4% year on year, revenue of 542 million. It's doing okay. The guitar scene is doing absolutely fine. Now we have the stats to prove it. But the point is, we already knew this, didn't we? The whole point of that video was to tear apart Edgar's foolish analysis of the situation. You can't go to someone like George Gruen and ask him, how's the guitar industry doing? He's a middleman. He is so out of touch with what is relevant in today's society of music instrument purchases that why do you listen to someone like that? Isn't it funny how one of the other companies that he made reference to was Gibson? Look what happened to them. Now, we all saw that coming, but apparently these people didn't see it coming. Apparently, this old school mentality of, oh, look what's happening, the industry's falling apart, there's nothing we can do about it. Absolutely ludicrous. You know, don't be that guy that can't change when there are changes happening in a market. Don't be Blockbuster Video. You have to move with the changes. So what are the conclusions or the kind of industry threats and opportunities that this market research has alluded to? Essentially, there's two very interesting aspects. One is that producers of standard guitars have found it hard to compete with overseas competitors in terms of price, which makes sense. And domestic manufacturers that cater to high-end markets are expected to benefit from the shift in the industry. Now, this makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Common sense, right? The problem with looking to someone like George Gruen, who just sells a very specific type of thing to a very specific type of person, and a company like Gibson, who make whatever the hell they wanted to make, and just assumed people are going to want to buy it because it said Gibson on the headstock. It's the out-of-touch approach. Gibson failed as a company because they stopped making the things that people wanted to buy for the prices that they wanted to pay for them. That's not rocket science. That's how business works. Why can people not understand this? People already know this. It's just apparently Gibson that don't know this. Absolutely ludicrous. Make guitars that people want to buy, make them for prices that they want to pay. Not rocket science. And the point that I tried to make in my original video that we can now say has been shown to be true is that plenty of companies are jumping into this area of making products that people want to buy for prices that they want to pay. You've got plenty of US companies like Suhr, or companies like Anderson, or companies like even Friedman are making guitars now, and you've got obviously Exotic making guitars, and Tyler are making guitars. Fine, cool, great. They all seem to be making a nice little niche for themselves. In fact, Suhr have transitioned into one of the big companies, if you ask me. They seem to be so big now that they're commanding kind of Gibson levels of price and respect, but they never lose lose sight or lose touch with what the audience want. They have their finger on the pulse and they cater to those people. The same is true when you look overseas. You have companies like Mayonnaise, you see a few on the wall behind me, or Vigier, of course. Companies out in Australia like Ormsby Guitars or Strandberg. You know, there are plenty of companies out there that have their finger on the pulse and they make the products that people want to buy. The industry is doing absolutely fine. I'm not going to say it's as big as it was in the 80s, but the point is the guitar isn't dying out. I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys already know this because you're not morons. Simple, right? So what I would say is also, and I addressed this before, but I want to point it out now because I have a few more new guitars around me and I've purchased a lot of guitars in the last year or so. This one up here, this was secondhand. The 8-string behind my head, that was secondhand. I got the Mayonnaise Hydra headless, that I bought brand new. But the point is, the second-hand market is huge, it's booming. Guys like George Gruen, yeah, sure, you can't make money anymore. You're a middleman. Middlemen have been the cancer of the music industry since the inception of recorded music. The moment someone else came along and said, you know what, Mr. Artist Man, I will give you all this money to be able to, so you can produce some audio, and then we'll sell that for you, and we will take all of the money until you've paid off what we gave you, and at that point we're even, we've not lost anything, and from there on out we'll give you a small cut of the money that we have helped you to make. It's always been cancer, and it's nice to see that kind of retail is struggling in the same way. The second-hand market is flourishing. If you went back to the 80s and you wanted to sell a guitar second-hand, the way you would do that is you would go, oh, what else can I do? I want to sell a guitar. I'll go into my local guitar shop and I'll say, hey guys, I'm looking to sell this. What do you think it's worth? And they would tend to say to you, well, you can probably get, I don't know, $1,500 for it. We'll put it in the shop for you. We'll advertise it. We'll sell it, and then we'll take a commission on that. It was fine, reasonable, it makes sense back in the 80s, because if you want to sell a guitar, you want to put that guitar in front of as many guitar players as possible. People that are looking to spend money on guitars tend to go into guitar shops. But this is 2018. That isn't really a thing anymore. If I want to sell a guitar, I can go on eBay and sell it. If I don't want to pay the 10% fee that eBay are going to take on my sale, then I can go to a site like Facebook, and I can go on the Facebook Marketplace, or one of the many groups, the buy and sell groups on Facebook. I can go to a website like Gumtree in the UK, or if you're American, you can go to a site like Craigslist. Feels really bad to not say Craigslist, but you know, I'm trying to be respectful of the language that you ruined. I'm staring at you here. Point is, there are tons and tons of great places where you can reach out with gear that you have to sell and connect directly with people that want to buy it. It's becoming harder and harder for manufacturers to make their money on their instruments, because instruments to a buyer don't lose the value that the old retail guys would want you to think. When I buy a guitar and walk out of a shop, it's not worth half as much as I paid for it. There will be someone that will look at my almost brand new Mayonnaise guitar and say, "Whew, well, I'd really like to buy one of those things, but I can't really afford the new retail price. How about I give you 85% of what you paid for it?" And it's perfect. I don't complain. He doesn't complain. Everyone is a winner, apart from all of these people that are going to go, the industry's dying, the industry's dying. The guitar is not dying. Ed Sheeran is a prime example of the guitar not dying. John Mayer is a prime example of the guitar not dying. These guys are still huge artists. When Ed Sheeran released his signature Martin guitar, the Martin website crashed because of the traffic that they got. The thing that has changed is the market is slightly different. Sure, we don't have as many guitar heroes, but that doesn't mean that the guitar is any less useful or any less popular. In fact, Fender have kind of backtracked a little bit and are now trying to say that 50% of the people that purchase our instruments are now women. I don't believe it for a second. I would like it to be more the case, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I hate that notion, you know, guitar retail shops saying 50% of all of our guitars are sold to women. I don't think you really believe that, do you? I think you're just kind of pushing what you'd like it to be, you know, to be inclusive of everybody. And I should be super clear before I close up. I'm not I'm not an exclusive person. I don't want to push anyone out. I think everybody should play a musical instrument, women included. No one is outside of our guitar playing club. Everybody is welcome. But let people do the things they want to do. Don't just try and use them as some sort of political tool to make yourselves look trendy. Fender, you're not selling 50% of your guitars to women yet. Hopefully that's going to change. But come on, you're not getting any brownie points from me. Not yet. Anyway, so I just want to extend a huge debt of gratitude to these people over here. These are some of my supporters over on patreon.com. They help me to keep making this channel. So thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate your help. And I should also say a huge thank you to Vinny over at vpix.com. Vinny is now a supporter of this channel, and VPix are sponsoring some of my content. So please do head on over to VPix and check out some of their picks. I am a huge fan. I'm just going to reach over here and grab my favorite VPick. I have, I don't know, probably 100 of them around here. Huge fan. So thank you very much, Vinny, for that. There's another company that seems to be doing well in this industry of dying guitars. Anyway, if you would like to check us out on Patreon, you can do so by clicking this box up here. You can subscribe, do as the t-shirt says, by clicking this little button down here, and you will find 2 more of my videos here and here. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Again, I make the joke, it's a lot having all of this support from people in such a dying industry. But this industry isn't going anywhere, and I'm not going anywhere either. Thanks again, and I will see you for another video soon. Bye.